My name is Jade Hoyer, and I am a multimedia artist who specializes in printmaking and papermaking. It's pretty funny, actually. I got started in my artistic practice when I was probably about 10 years old, and it was my birthday. And my extended family, my grandma lives in St. Louis, Missouri, took me to an art supply store and was like, you can buy something for $30. And little me was like, okay. And I started to make a beeline for like the colored pencils. And then my grandma saw her future and the hours that it would take to be present for me, nickel and diming everything up to 30. And she's like, no, you can buy one thing. You can buy one thing. And so I'm looking around and there was this kit, this like mold and decal paper making kit. And I didn't know what this thing was, but it was $30. So I'm like, I want this. And she's like, are you sure, sweetie? Like, what is that? I'm like, this is my birthday present. And I ended up, I think I was 10 years old. I ended up engaging in paper making because I brought this thing home and then needed to figure out how to use it. So it was sort of happenstance or fate, or a sense of economy. But that led to my engaging in that practice now. I think if I were to interact with that younger version of myself and to be able to tell her all the things that she's done and all the experiences that she would get to have and the sort of trajectory of artistic growth that I would experience, that you could make this and this experimentation led to these sort of projects, I wouldn't believe it. I would be so thrilled for my older self. I think it's almost like sort of a connect the number game. Like I can see how this engagement on a Monday led to this engagement on a Friday, which led to that engagement X number of years later. But it's been really wonderful to see the sort of broadening trajectory of my work too. I don't think I'm ever formally deciding to wake up and think that I am going to be making work about topic X. I think it's more just that I happen to be experiencing and engaging with these sort of ideas, and my artist practice is a sort of the valve or the tools that I use to express them. So for example, one of the works that I did recently was an installation of 84 sheets of handmade paper about the impact of the COVID crisis upon the Filipino American community, and it involves a portrait of my mom from her nursing graduation. And when I created that work, it wasn't like I was like, I'm going to be inspecting this aspect of healthcare. You know, I was teaching art online during COVID while my mom, who was a nurse, was treating COVID-positive patients. That was the life experience that was impacting me, and the art became my processing for it. I think that it allows me to have a greater emphasis on the concepts that I'm thinking about, the ideas that I'm expressing, rather than foregrounding the tools that I'm using towards doing that. And being part of a very technique-driven artistic community has allowed me to kind of invert that. I think it has been wonderful for me to have a kind of lived reminder of the importance of building community and how we can connect with one another and how we can honor that space. So I think it's allowed me to be a better educator too, to have a sort of view of how we are facilitating artistic spaces and communities and sharing that too. I wish people would just be comfortable and happy in their own skins. I would hope, especially for makers and especially for individuals navigating a system that doesn't always honor them, that people could recognize that about themselves sooner.